stroke of genius, but man, they did so many different stories, is McDonald's.
Dozens of Bay Area McDonald's have something extra on the menu tonight. For a limited time, you can get burgers and shakes with a side of Pfizer. That's right, the Pfizer vaccine is being offered at select locations. This Vallejo McDonald's is among those serving up shots today. And 12-year-old Ayana was relieved to roll up her sleeve at a familiar place.
This was really quick and easy. There wasn't a line whatsoever. You just walk in, get it, and walk out. It was really fun. So
really
I think
fun.
it was pretty easy, and I think other people who, like me, with anxiety, it's much easier.
It's all part of a statewide initiative to reach those who've had a hard time getting access to the vaccine. 70 McDonald's locations across the state will offer vaccinations in the coming weeks.
One of the biggest issues that people have raised is access. I'm too busy during the day. I need to go to a clinic at night, or I need the clinic to be closer to me. This is part of a series of initiatives to get clinics closer to people.
Yeah, it's the poor girl, young woman. It was so fun. I love it. It's really great to get my vaccine at McDonald's. I don't understand. They should do it the other way around. You should get a vaccine, and then while you're getting the vaccine, they jam a Big Mac into your face. I think that's a much better promotion.
Yeah.
Just one of those things.
Causes the same sort of swelling.
Yeah. So I'm in the new studio. We're in the new house, John.
Good.
We have not named it yet. We are, of course, in the heart of Texas Hill Country.
Call it the house.
It's the house. I have a lot of boominess. The panels.
I can't hear it.
Well, Tina was very kind. While I was fixing my broken headphone amp power supply by replacing it with 2 wires taped across a 9-volt battery, she brought in a clothing rack and draped a moving blanket over it. That's a woman right there.
You should just turn it into her giant closet. Dead sound.
Yeah. No, it'll be good. I just have to get it just didn't have enough time, man. I've moved.
What about the dimmers? Tell us about the dimmers.
So this house, I've learned a lot. Now the guy who built this house, we bought it from, he wired everything. And he,
of course, he was at IBEW, trained electrician.
No, he was not. And in fact, he left me very nice. He left me, into details, and there's like 20 apps you can run the house on, which I have zero desire to do.
Oh, it's not a smart home.
Zero desire. Well, a lot of it is wired to be smart. Yeah. So there's a lot
especially for a podcast.
Yes, there's a lot of dimmers
buzzing around, making noises, all kinds of signals on the wires.
Is all kinds of problems. Yeah. But I will say, our move was so Sunday, right after the show, I packed everything up. I had to pack up all the studio. Monday morning, the movers came. The idea was they would pack, and since, we're well over an hour outside of Austin, and probably more if you're in a slow-moving truck, they would take everything to their facility, and then they would come the next day for the unpack.
Oh, so they took everything to the facility, so they go over it, take a look at it, see what they wanted to keep?
That was the idea, but when they came in, they said, oh, Mrs. Curry, you're so organized, we can do all of this in one day. She saved us a whole day of moving just by...
Did they cut the bill down?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's per hour. Oh, yeah. It was half. The bill was half. It was unbelievable.
Well, she should be in that business.
That's what I keep telling her. She'd be great. Or it's called a move coordinator. a relocation consultant.
I actually have a friend who does that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can you make any money doing that? Is that...
She works for one of the giant moving companies, so she's an executive, so I assume so. But their job is focused on giant corporations. Google moving everything from here to there.
Right. No, I don't think she'd want. She would like to help people organize their. It was just fantastic. Everything was color coded, in all colors of the rainbow. We got the Pride pack. Every room had a color. It was beautiful.
But given what we know about the changing climate, given that we've seen an increase in these so-called extraordinary tides and the impact that that can have in areas like South Florida, do you think that climate could have played a role in that building's collapse?
Well, obviously we don't know fully, but we do know that the seas are rising. I mean, we know that we're losing inches and inches of beaches, not just in Florida, but all around.
Really? All around, John. All around. We're losing inches and inches of beach all around. Sorry. That's just not true.
I mean, we know that we're losing inches and inches of beaches, not just in Florida, but all around. Lake Michigan, where I'm from, we've seen the loss of beaches because the waters are rising. So, this is a phenomenon that will continue. Whether we'll have to wait to see what the analysis is for this building, but the issue about resiliency and making sure we adapt to this changing climate, that's going to mean levees need to be built. That means seawalls need to be built. That means infrastructure needs to be built. We need to make sure that we invest enough in clearing out the forests so we don't have these weather events. We need to invest in hardening our transmission lines, maybe burying wires so that we can protect areas that are like tinderbox dry. There's so much investment that we need to do to protect ourselves from climate change, but also to address it and mitigate it. And hopefully these infrastructure bills, when taken together, will make a huge step and allow America to lead again.
Yeah, this is how it works. This is
together. That means they're trying to slip that second bill in that Biden said he would.
Oh yeah.
These guys are douchebags.
They're going for the $6 trillion, and a part of that will be the infrastructure for electric vehicles. Jen Psaki.
People across the country, people who care deeply about addressing our climate crisis, know the components of what's in this package, which the president considers a down payment, not the end, a down payment. So 500,000 electric vehicle charging stations nationwide. That's what this would help support, with a focus on our highways and rural and disadvantaged communities. It would help buy more than 35,000 electric school buses.
That's what we need. Electric school buses. Yeah, of course. There's one or two reporters these days in the White House briefing room who are starting to ask questions. It's kind of odd. And there was a follow-up on this one, which I just thought it was worth playing.
You just mentioned, and Secretary Kerry mentioned, the fact that the market is already heading towards electric vehicles. There's no turning back from that. It's an unstoppable force. If that's the case, why should taxpayers pay for 500,000 electric vehicle charging stations? Isn't that something that will get taken care of by the market?
And I think that's an outstanding question.
It's a great question. It's a great question.
Whoa. It's dubbed a great question. All right.
I think there's a role for government to play. Our view, the presidency, is there's a role for government to play to incentivize, to ensure that there is continued movement in this direction. But there's also a great deal, a lot of the investment that's in the American Jobs Plan is about ensuring.
What is it called?
Market interference.
Yeah, or crony capitalism.
Crony capitalism, that's the other word for it.
Yeah.
That there are